Have you ever been hurt by someone that you thought you could trust? Ever wish that you could have seen it coming, that if only you could have seen the person for what they were, the evil, soul-sucking bastard that they were? Well, there is a way. No, before you say anything, no, this is not some sort of blood sacrifice to the Lord of the Underworld. The devil has no such use or desire for the killing of a random creature. If he did, don't you think he would really do it himself? However, I wouldn't recommend that you perform this ritual, for fear that if anything goes wrong, well, I'll leave it to your imagination as to what horrors you will unleash upon yourself. Instead, I advise that you stop reading now and never ever come back. But if you are truly serious, as you must be if you bother to listen to this point, there is a way. You'll need the following items: a container of salt, any old stuff from your local store will work, just make sure you have plenty. You'll require a match or a flint lighter, a large sheet of paper, and a pencil with which to draw. Now, don't worry about having to memorize any ancient Aramaic or Latin symbols or words. And finally, and most importantly, an item of great sentimental value to you. I cannot stress enough how important this last item is, for several reasons. Foremost being that the ritual will not work without it. Now, what this item is doesn't really matter, as long as it means a lot to you as a person. Family photos of special events are recommended, if it was an occasion etched into your memory. If you have a lucky pencil case or something similar, that's also perfect. Avoid items that you have many of, or that you would have little or no problem giving to any but your close friend. Now for the ritual itself. It is best if you can find a place alone, although not essential. But then again, if you don't want a family member walking in on you doing what must appear to them as some insane ritual of the occult, then yeah, you may want to avoid doing it in a place where you can be disturbed. You should ideally get there around 11:30 p.m. Make sure you are bearing no religious icons. I give it great honor to call it a creature, but it's the only word I can think of. The creature won't see it as a deterrent, and more of an insult. It's the equivalent of some random dude breaking into your house and waving his junk in your face. Best case scenario, it doesn't show up. Worst case, they'll find your remains splattered all over the walls. So no crucifixes, no stars of David, or anything which represents a faith, even if the religion isn't real, one from a video game or a movie. It's a bit of a gamble, so best to just avoid it altogether. Next, you must pour the salt in a circle large enough for a person to stand in with relative comfort. Make sure it is a complete circle. Any breaks in it could prove disastrous. Then take the pencil and write a name on the paper. Place it in the circle. Now light the candle and hold it in your left hand, and the object in your right. As the clock approaches midnight, repeat the following phrase: I turn from the Lord, who would hide the true nature of his creation, to the one who will reveal to me the truth hidden within the lies. Then say the name on the paper before continuing. To thee, I offer the gift of friendship. Now place the object in the circle as your gift. Then wait until our clock strikes midnight. You blow out your candle so that the dark consumes you. Count to 13 quietly, then relight your candle. If all is going to plan, there should be a person standing in the circle in front of you. Don't worry, they wouldn't dare hurt you, for whatever they do to you would be inflicted upon them like tenfold. Yet you won't feel entirely right either, despite being divinely beautiful. The person will seem to have exude an order of pure wrongness, as your instincts scream at you that this thing does not belong in the world. You'll feel icy cold, unable to move, unable to hear much over the drumming of your own heart. And the person will introduce himself as by the name you wrote on the paper, that they accept your generous gift, and that they wish to repay you. Politely nod and say that it is not necessary. They love manners. Until they say, "Oh, but I insist." You'll feel dizzy and fall asleep, only to find yourself in a strange maze when you awaken. It'll be overgrown with roots snaking out across the path, and that sense of wrongness will feel even stronger, hanging over you like a fog. Now the real test begins. Stay calm and follow the path until you reach a chamber of sorts. Inside you will find a grand feast laid out for you, including all your favorite food and drink. People will be singing merrily and will insist that you come and join them. No matter how mouth-watering it all smells, don't take a single bite. The moment you do, a nagging, aching hunger will fall upon you. No matter how much you eat and eat, you will never be able to shake the inescapable hunger, and you will be stuck in an endless cycle of gluttony until you literally, and with unimaginable agony, burst under the weight of all that food. Walking into the next chamber, you will discover no people, but instead a vast treasure trove. Everything from jewels that would make those of the Queen of England seem like a child playing dress-up, and the gold statues, all the way to the latest advanced technology, from the newest, fastest car to the latest computer system. Don't even think about touching it. It's what he wants you to do. The moment you deliberately touch anything, even a single penny, you'll feel your arm go numb and heavy. With horror, you'll have just enough time to realize what is happening before your body turns to solid gold. Another lure for the next greedy soul to enter the room. Assuming you've made it to the third chamber unmolested, you should feel incredibly weary for no apparent reason. I advise you to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible, no matter how comfy it would seem to just close your eyes for a second. It's the worst thing you can do. You will feel like your muscles weigh a ton. You may even hear the soft, gentle lullabies on the wind. But to fall asleep here would be to never awake again from a dreamless sleep. Don't get me wrong, you would not be dead, but neither would you truly be alive. You would be falling endlessly in a black void until the end of time and the heavens fall. The fourth room will be almost bare, bar from a few people. The moment you enter, they'll start snickering, jeering at you. They will do all the things that you personally find insufferable. Poke you with sharp objects, call you names, and tell you how worthless they think you are. Just block them out and walk on. For those that succumb to their anger, will be forever locked in that moment of inflamed emotion, unable to feel anything but raw hatred until you are little more than a savage beast with instincts to rip and tear. No sooner than you have entered the fifth room, than you will be confronted with a vast crowd of adoring fans all screaming your name. People will revel in your every movement, beg that you tell them how to escape your previous rooms. Nations will practically bow to you, and armies will march at but your slightest command. Anything you create, no matter how badly made or written, will be an instant sensation, and people will feel compelled to give you stuff. As easy as it is to fall into a false sense of security, I advise that you move on as soon as possible. The longer one stays, the more they will begin to suspect that not everything is as it seems. They'll see a knife under every cloak, an assassin in every shadow, until their once great pride has reduced them to nothing but a shivering wreck of paranoia and madness. The next room should resemble an ornate bedchamber with the smell of perfume heavy in the air. Lying on the bed will be several of the most physically beautiful and alluring people that you have ever seen. How they look varies greatly on whatever is most attractive to you. Different people have described anything from long-legged women with enormous breasts, flowing hair, to men with perfect six-packs and rippling muscles, and sultry voices that will ask you to come to bed for an evening of romance. You must politely decline and do nothing to provoke them. If you give in to your lust or any such sign, they'll keep you there for eternity. Plaything, for which they will perform all kinds of perverted tortures that even the most filthy human mind will find horrifying to behold. Finally, you will find yourself in an empty room, standing in front of Finally, you will find yourself in an empty room. Standing in front of you will be the figure from before, although this sense of wrongness will be even greater by now. They'll stand before two doors with a smile unnaturally wide. They'll congratulate you and ask which gift you wish to receive. The first will be the door on the left. This will send you back to a time from before you committed the ritual. You have no knowledge of what transpired, and you would be promised a life of blissful ignorance, so much so that no one will ever be able to hurt you. Do not walk through this door. He wants you to. He's counting on your envy of the possible gift of bliss. Choose that door, and you will have blissful ignorance, for you shall no longer have any soul or intelligence, reduced to little more than a husk. Once you have walked through the door on the right, you should wake up in your empty room. Yet you will feel strange from that day forward. You'll be able to smell a lie before it's even spoken. You'll be able to tell a person's goals at but a glance. However, this is also a curse, for never again will you be able to look at your loved ones the same way, for fear of discovering their true nature. There's a reason some people choose to be a pariah on the edge of social groups. And if you pay attention, you would see us for what we've been through, and no fear. Because for us who have experienced true evil, Nothing is hidden.